brought to you by Bethel School of Technology. Learn more at betheltech.net/Ken Coleman. One of the big search engine things we see out there for people that want to level up, upskill in their work, become a better professional is how to speak better. Now, interestingly enough, this is a long held piece of data that people would rather die than speak publicly. So what we're not talking about here necessarily is being a public speaker, a keynote speaker, a professional motivational speaker, that kind of stuff. Okay? Because we know a large percentage of the population has zero interest in that at all. However, communicating better and speaking better, the actual, because communication is not limited to speaking. All right? And we'll cover some of that. But actually, how can someone be better at speaking? In other words, just talking. It doesn't have to be given a speech, but day in and day out, can you become a better speaker? The answer is yes. So I want to walk through some of these, okay? So the pros, people that are great speakers, there are some attributes, there are ways to get there. So number one, way to be a better speaker in any area of life. Number one, clarity and conciseness. Super clear and concise. In other words, don't take 20 minutes to say something that you can say in 2. Be clear. Now, there's 2 types of clarity here. Clear message. Here's the thing I want to tell you. And then tell them. Be clear. Don't be confusing. Be really clear. The other thing is enunciate. Now, I'm gonna poke a little fun at myself here, and the social media team can speak to this, and I do it some on this show. I catch myself sometimes not enunciating clearly enough because I think fast and talk fast. Nathan's worked with me a long time. I'm sure you've noticed it before. I'll get talking fast, and I let one word bleed into the next word. Bob Borquez is running the board today. He's a longtime voice talent. I do this. So I'm calling myself out to say that I can get excited, and if I'm talking too fast, I can let a couple words, you know what I mean? And you can mumble. And I'm not mumbling, but I'm not being clear. And so I was filming social media stuff today, and I remind myself I need to be sometimes clearer in not just the messaging, but the delivery. So clear and concise. Number two, how to speak like a pro. Confidence. Oh, this is huge. Confidence. So, couple things here. Whether in a meeting or in a one-on-one, confidence is huge in your ability to speak well. And we know from body language experts that posture and a strong pose is actually a thing. I've done many Zoom interviews, satellite interviews, and when able, I always stand because I have learned that when standing, it projects confidence to the brain and also projects confidence to the person receiving what you're saying. Secondly, on this confidence piece, steady tone. Here's one thing that'll make you look really insecure. And I'm just going to say a basic thing, okay? Basic phrase. Ready? How to speak like a professional? When you go up in intonation like that, and it's got that a little sing-songy, you know what I mean? You know, that's not confident. Steady tones. Hey, I'm about to tell you how to speak like a professional. If anything, you drop it down, Bob. Slow it down. Change your pace. But this whole, and it's just, you know, and oh my gosh, stop. Okay, next. Number 3 way to speak like a pro. Be courteous to your audience. Pros are very, very aware of their audience. And they're very courteous and respectful in this way. Active listening. Real pros, when it comes to speaking, they have a banter. They have a way of connecting with their audience, whoever that is, however many they are, maybe one. But real pros, like the great coaches, they respect the client. They are actively listening, not just waiting for their chance to talk. That's huge. Number 4, way to speak like a pro. Have good vocabulary. In other words, get rid of the slang and the jargon. Can I tell you something? And this will be a fun exercise, Nathan, for you to hold me accountable maybe over the next month. Because you need something to do in there while you're switching cameras and you're so sick of staring at me. God bless you. This will be fun for Kelly too, because I think she'd take great joy out of this. But how often do I use the word like? I'm going to tell you that I don't think I use it very often. But this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. You want to talk like a pro? Stop saying like all the time. You know what I mean? Like, and so like, oh, it drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. You know, that's one I just said there. You know, I don't say that a lot, but that could be a crutch. Get rid of what I would call the fluff in your speaking. I will tell you another one that I do. I'm going to call myself out here. I do it as a tactic. I don't need it, but I'm still going to call myself out. And I do that for my own entertainment. I mean, Alex has known me a long time. I do media hits all the time. I'm never for a lack of a word. Ever. In fact, my brain never needs a moment where I have to go, I'll do it sometimes, but it's a crutch, and that's not a pro move. So hey, I'm calling myself out. Get rid of the lazy jargon, the corporate speak. I'm going to circle back to that one or whatever. Stop that nonsense. Just use words. And this is the second little point under upgrading your vocabulary. Expand yourself. Expand the words. You know? Now, the team gets on me, and I could see them laughing at me in the control booth, so I'm very insecure all of a sudden. But they get on me for some of the words I use, and I get it. There's a healthy tension here between using a 50-cent word that just feels weird and a good word. Okay? Let me give you one example that pops to my mind right now on expanding your vocabulary, and you look like a pro in a meeting. Okay? Let's say you're in a meeting and you say, you're trying to say I'm on the edge, or we're on the edge of something, or we're really close. Okay? What you could say is, we're on the precipice. Oh, what a word. Now, Alex, who, believe me, not easily impressed, knows me. When I just said precipice, you went, oh, that's a good word. In other words, it doesn't sound too over the top. So you would say, here's where we stand. I think that we are getting to a precipice of a, you know, this is going bad. Or we're so close, we're on the precipice of a contraction in our customers' engagement. Okay, whatever. Now that word, that's a good word. It's impressive. Everybody knows what it means. They can't even spell it, but they know what it means. But here's where you go too far. And that's another P word. Okay? Using the word proliferation. I couldn't even say it. It's difficult. Proliferation. Oh, what? Don't use the word proliferation. I'm struggling to say it. I'm well spoken. If I go into a meeting and I talk about, well, there's a proliferation in the tech market right now as it relates to these. Yeah, people are going to be like, what are you talking about? So you got to be careful is my point. There's a tension between good words and then someone going, you're a pinhead because you waited all day to use that word. That would irritate Kelly. If I said proliferation in a meeting, Kelly would roll her eyes at me. I could see you saying, you tried too hard, dude. I could see you being, am I right? I could see you going, okay, all right. Ken's doing word of the day again. You see what I mean? You got to find that balance. Simple little example. Let's keep moving. Number 5. Hack on how to speak like a professional is structure and organizing your thoughts. Even if it's a quick 5-minute portion of the meeting you're in. come up with an outline for yourself, right? I'll give you one that I think works for everybody. It's a hack that I use. If I'm presenting a new idea, I want to lead with what I think the problem is. Then I want to talk about what I think the solution is. And then I want to give the reason why this solution is absolutely a must consider or a must adopt, right? Simple little outline. Have some structure. Great communicators have a structure. They're not just winging it, Have some structure. Organize your thoughts ahead of time. And it could be real simple like that. And then boom, boom, boom. And it doesn't matter how eloquent you are, as long as you deliver the problem, the solution, and the reason for the solution. People are going to say, that was well thought out. And it was. Number 6. Number 6 is nonverbal communication. This is huge. I think the great speakers in any type of speaking, they have such command of their nonverbals. They're very present to create eye contact, not just eye contact, but your face needs to look like you give a crap. By the way, it's really hard sometimes to show someone respect with your eyes and your face when you don't respect their argument, but I do it anyway. What they're saying, I mean, I've been in meetings before, and I'm telling you, I'm confessing, content meetings, someone will throw a content idea out, and my brain is going, good Lord, I'm never going to do that in a million years. That's what I'm thinking. And unfortunately, I've said that in meetings too. But as I get better or attempt to get better, I'm going to go, okay, yeah, all right. Okay, yes, and I'm showing some respect there. I'm showing some positivity. My head, my face, everything is saying, thank you for that contribution. I'll consider that. When I know deep down, it's never got a chance, and you know what, of happening. All right. That body language is more than just eye contact. Body language, lean in, look engaged. Number 7, final tip on how to communicate like a pro, like you're speaking like a pro, your actual language. Get feedback. Treat every opportunity that you have to speak as also an opportunity to get some feedback from somebody in the room. Practice some of the things I'm talking about, but more than anything, get feedback. You come up with your own 7 things, 6 things, 5 things, 4 things, 3 things, 2 things, 1 thing, but get feedback. Because when I get feedback on how I'm speaking, I'm getting better. And that's how pros become pros. Practice and feedback. Launch your tech career today at betheltech.net/Ken Coleman.